this is Candidly Chaotic. I'm so excited to have you here. I like to share our homeschooling journey, family adventures, and mom life. So if those things sound interesting or helpful to you, please hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you join along. I also have a new Instagram page that I will link in the description box if you are interested in seeing more of our everyday mundane journey through homeschool and adventures. And also, I just feel like on Instagram, we can have more of a conversation. It's just a little bit easier. So I'd love to have you follow along there and connect with you in that way as well. Today, I am reviewing our year. I'm going to share a little bit about how this year went and the curriculum that we used and how we liked it or didn't like it. I did share our first grade curriculum picks already, which I will link in a card above for so I shared that for next year. But I did want to go more, I wanted to talk more about what we used this year and what we liked and why, and what we didn't like and why. And yeah, so hopefully you can glean a couple things for your curriculum choices. And I'll talk a little bit too about like how other parts of our school year went outside of the curriculum. So first of all, I'm going to talk about my son's daily learning notebook. We've had this for a while, but we really started using it probably in January, I think. I have a video about changing our routine up, which I will link in a card above. But this is from Confessions of a Homeschooler. She has a lot of free resources, but this one I purchased. It does say my pre-K book, but we made it work for kindergarten. I use this to lay the foundations for teaching him how to do independent work. I want to lay the foundation that someday he will be doing independent work. And so that's what I use this for. And then my, my youngest son and I, while my oldest son is working on this, we do Tot School, and I kind of fill that time tank up with my toddler. And so it's a perfect utilization of the resource and our time to try and make things go more smoothly. Inside the daily learning notebook, there's a bunch of different things. You can check out her website. We will definitely be doing it again. I will probably add and change some things around in the daily learning notebook for first grade. I haven't decided yet what that will be, but we will definitely be keeping this. And then he does an Explode the Code page in his daily learning notebook because they're fun. He feels, he can really do the page on his own, and he feels like so accomplished on doing this kind of work without me. So, and I like that review. Okay, next we have our Bible curriculum, which is, it's from Positive Action. And this is the preschool book about exploring God's love. I think, if I remember correctly, there's two preschool, like there's a preschool and then a pre-K and then a kindergarten, first grade, second grade. I bought this 2 years ago, I believe it was. Something like that. I think it was I think it was 2 years ago. And we used it at the beginning of, we used it for my oldest's second year of preschool, and then now this year as well. We've done a couple other things, like we did Gather Round's Easter unit, which we loved. And we've done some Bibles, just Bible stories out of there. We have it's called the Jesus Storybook Bible, and we love that. And so we've done just stories out of there as well at various times, but this is kind of like our basic curriculum. It comes with, you can also purchase a student book that has activities in it, so he has really enjoyed that. And yeah, I really like this curriculum. I love the options I have in here, and it is geared for like a church class probably, but it's so easy to make it work for homeschool stuff. I could foresee us doing this again when my second son, my youngest son, is a little bit older, you know, maybe towards the end of this next school year. We might kind of start this over again, just because some of the foundations that are in here are so great, and yeah, they enjoy the stories and learning about it. Okay, so we did All About Reading level 1 for my kindergartner, and I love this program. It's been perfect for what we need. It's been perfect for me. I was so very, very nervous about teaching how to read, and this just held my hand in the best way. I feel like it's laying a great foundation. I have a whole video about it that I will link up here. So if you're interested, go ahead and watch that, and I go more in depth about this. But we definitely love this. It's going super well, and we will be doing it again next year. And my son enjoys it. Okay, next is math. Math was complicated this year. I started the year out thinking I'm gonna do Math UC Alpha, and quickly realized that wasn't maybe the best fit for my son at that moment. And so then I switched over to Horizons, and it went really well for a little while, and then I realized it wasn't exactly what I wanted. We were probably about halfway through-ish when I realized that there were a couple things lacking. And so then I did both together, and that has been working so well. I have done other videos about this, which you can find on my channel. I might try to link them down below. But yes, we do some of the problems in here, but not all of them. And we use Alpha to get a good foundation for math facts, and I love the way they do place value and a couple other things, so we do throw this in here as well. My son prefers this math. I think it's the color and the variety, but I also think so far when we've done this, he's done really well, and we've gone fairly quickly. We haven't had to stay super long on a lesson in here, and so I think he just gets a little bored, maybe. I don't know. That might be part of it. But we will continue. I really like this, and we will continue for now to do Horizons Math with Math UC. I heard something. With Math UC for the facts until I find something that I like better, that I don't have to piecemeal with. For handwriting this year, we did handwriting, how do you say that? Handwriting Without Tears. This is the letters and numbers for me, which is the kindergarten version. At the beginning of the year, I purchased a used teacher guide. It was helpful at the beginning. I used it probably the first 2 months or so. It has some good activities, some good instruction for me on things to be watching out for and games to be doing to help kind of get certain things down. But then after about that 2, maybe 3 month mark, I really didn't need it anymore, because we just didn't need that anymore. But I do like this program. My son loves handwriting. He just loves it. I would give him a page to do, and he would end up like doing a couple pages if I like walked away to go help my toddler. And because he just really enjoys it. And so this went really well for us. And I am sticking with Handwriting Without Tears for next year. But in another video coming soon, I'm sharing some other things we're doing for handwriting. Okay, so that's about it for like the real core of what I think is super important for me, for my kids, for kindergarten. We like to lay the foundation. My husband and I both agree that laying these foundations are important. That's what we've wanted to focus on. That's what we have focused on. But we do other fun things as well. We do tons of art stuff and crafts. Both of my kids love art and craft things, and so we do a bunch of that. I have used this book for project ideas, as well as using Pinterest. Our library does a take and make craft that we get oftentimes. yeah, I just search out different crafts and art ideas. We liked the YouTube channel Art Hub for Kids. We started using that a little bit. Deep Space Sparkle has some free things that we've done a couple times. So yeah, we do that for art, as well as every once in a while, I change it up pretty often for art. And every once in a while we do this Usborne step-by-step drawing book. My son loves doing it. We sit down and actually do it together. And so that's been a lot of fun. I will mention, so these extras I have on a loop schedule. And so I don't do all of this every day. We just do, and actually some days we only do Bible, reading, math, and handwriting. If we're having like a bad day or something else is going on or whatever, those are the four things that we always do. And then we have a loop schedule for this extra stuff, and that has worked super well this year. Another thing that's on that loop schedule is logic. I really like teaching my kids logic, and I don't know, I think it's kind of like, for me, it's like a foundation on critical thinking, which is super important for just everything. Being able to apply things that you know to different situations and thinking it through. And my son has really enjoyed this book. So we will finish it. We won't be done with it by the time kindergarten's over. So we will finish it out next year, and then I have another book I can add once we finish it. For science, this year we kept it super simple, and we've used this book. I just cover a topic that, let's see, so like being alive. We just took a day, read all about this. It's kind of like read aloud time. Both kids like to sit and listen. There have been a couple things, for instance, we recently did recycling, where we watched a couple of recycling videos after reading this, and then we talked a lot about what we are currently doing as a family to protect our planet, as well as what else we could add after reading and watching the videos. And so then that has been super helpful, and the boys have talked about that afterwards, and we actually decided we've always wanted to do compost because we have a garden, and we have plenty of, you know, that kind of waste. So we've always talked about doing compost, but after watching these videos with them and learning about it, the kids decided like that is a priority this year. So their dad and them, they're going to be researching and working on that at a later date. So that's how we've handled science, is just reading out of here, doing maybe different projects or exploration as it comes to us. We do Spanish, sort of. Not anything like I ever hoped. It's just not a thing I can make a priority at this current time. We do watch Little Pim on Amazon. It's a fun little show. I think it's nice to get them familiar with some Spanish things. I'm teaching them how to count in Spanish. We've looked at the colors in Spanish. We have a couple little word books just to get them familiar, because like I said, at some point I would like to do Spanish more focused. It just hasn't worked out at this point. My son has a nature notebook. It's just this easy composition book, which we've done several different things for. He loves to grab it and draw things, and then we label different things depending on what we're doing. Let's see. So he recently wanted to draw birds that were flying around, and then the trees, and then we label, you know, what it is and when. So we have done that, and he likes to do that. We've taken it on trips and camping and stuff, and he enjoys getting to do that. We're going to be ramping that up for first grade, because I now have a actual curriculum for nature exploration, and so we're learning a little bit more how to do a nature journal. So I think that will be fun next year. So we're keeping the nature journal. We're just kind of adding on to it. Finally, for history and social studies type things, we've been super, you know, surface level on that. We read Magic Tree House and other historical type fiction things to learn and get ideas about the history. We've read a couple biographies in his interest areas. I have a timeline book of the world from Usborne, which we've looked at a couple times, but it's a little too intense for us at this point. But yeah, we just talk about things as they come, and we just take advantage of little conversations here and there. We have a map puzzle that we've talked about for like geography purposes, and we have a globe that we've talked about a couple times. And so it's been real low-key for his kindergarten year, and that worked out perfectly. So that is our curriculum. I feel like this year went pretty well. I did have to change a couple things around, which is totally fine. I will say, even for next year, for math, I would love to find a curriculum that is more along the lines of what I'm hoping for. I just haven't found it. I think maybe I'm too picky, and that's why I've had to mix and match. We will be keeping our calendar time for next year. We will be still focusing on doing a lot of play and crafts and art, and read alouds are a big deal for us. So yeah, I think this year went pretty well. I'm happy with his kindergarten year. I'm pretty happy with most of the curriculum. I think he's learning what he needs to learn, and that's really the most important thing, is that he's improving. So that, I think overall this year was good. So that is how our current kindergarten year went. I would love to hear in the comments from you about how your school year went this year, and if there's anything you're hoping to keep or change for next year, just let me know in the comments. I will see you in another video again soon.